Okay, folks, another one of these donated pieces. I've got a photo pack full of them that someone took, these pictures, and I found them really nice in my demos to utilise. Wonder how we're going to make this one turn up a treat. Okay, let's see what these are. This is a photograph, again, of more of these bear sculptures near the Museum of Contemporary Art here in Sydney. Yeah, I really hate the art world, folks. I hate the establishment of art, like the Museum of Contemporary Art. They don't seem to care about people like myself who are talented. My talent has gone unrecognised as a photocopier artist, so I'm trying to bypass the art gallery world by using television and social media to get my videos here across. So I'm working on roughly 4 platforms of electronic art. First there's the photocopier art, then there's the video art, then there's uploading to social media and downloading from social media in the case of my YouTube channel. And then there's the fourth and final frontier, and that is to get this shit to go to air on the 6 o'clock news. So it goes from photocopier to video to internet or social media, and finally has its place on the television. If I can get a channel like Channel 9 interested in my work, and I have to get on the 6 o'clock news to get myself recognised as an artist and to put the critics to sleep. And basically, yeah, I'm really quite miffed about the art galleries. I don't fucking care about what they think about me anymore. They're not my ally. I classify them as my enemy, or one of my many enemies that I have. So I am also disabled, which means I can't work in a normal job and I can't earn much money to fund this campaign. So I'm hoping the TV channels will show me some clemency and air my material. And it's really difficult. I'm trying to get in touch with a lost partner as well, whose name is Luigi, and him and I will be able to have a double income, and we'll be very, very comfortable, potentially, if I can get this stuff to finally reach the final stage of my creative intentions. So, I'm trying to be creative. I'm trying not to let the disability get too distracting for me. I forgot to do something, folks. I was meant to switch this off. But basically I'm trying to get recognised, and it's really, really, really daunting. But I'm not going to let it stop me. I'm going to try and keep going at it. I'm going to keep making these videos for Channel 9, and if they don't like it, they can go get fucked, because I'm still going to try and keep getting attempts at airing my material. And I've got to get their attention, so I'm not really... It's really expensive. I'm trying to ration my electricity uses, and I'm doing it very drastically. And that's kind of looking really nice, actually. I do think red would have made a nice or magenta. Would have made a nice background colour. But basically, I have to ration my hot water. So what I do is I have one shower a week, and I wash my hair every 2 weeks. And basically, I also ration the electricity of the lights. I use torches and a camping lantern to provide me with light. So it's really quite a tight budget that I'm working from. And it's really daunting, but I'm not going to let it stop me. I'm going to keep fighting. I have to keep the heater running because it gets really cold at night. It's extremely unpleasant. I'm very sensitive to the extreme temperatures, and I find the cold extremely unpleasant. That awful chilliness. And people have told me that you can't go without heating. So I used to go without heating. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. I don't know how I did it, folks. It was horrible, to say the least. And that's come up looking really quite interesting. I like it and I don't. I do like this overarching bit there. So really I'm just trying to make ends meet as a disabled artist. I did have my disabilities, I have 2 disabilities that I believe I have, but I haven't had a diagnosis. I had a cord around my neck, I came out breech, and I basically was starved of oxygen at birth. So that was like a nasty birth trauma, and it's gone undiagnosed. And basically I used to get into a lot of trouble at school because it seemed like to the teachers I wasn't applying myself, but they didn't know that I had an undiagnosed intellectual disability from that birth trauma. My mum used to always talk about that birth trauma when I was young, and it lines up with the fact that the hippocampus and the short-term memory are sensitive to oxygen starvation, and these are the parts of the brain that are essential for learning, and I had lots of learning problems, and it's even gotten harder now to learn because of when you get older and you don't have many neurons of short-term memory and hippocampus to play with. It's just going to make your fucking life more difficult when you get older. And also I believe I have high-functioning autism, which again has gone beneath the radar. And it's really difficult, was really difficult at school, dealing with the teasing and the bullying and having this passion for photocopiers, and my parents and my brother were against my passion for photocopiers, and they treated it like it was just an obsession and the fucking unhealthy shit and bloody fuck. It was awful. And in the school, they didn't, I'm pretty sure they tried to discourage, I don't know if they discouraged me. My English teacher thought I wrote too many articles about the photocopier, but as it turns out, it's something that I consider an asset rather than a deficiency. But there is another disability that I have been diagnosed with. I have got the diagnosis, and it got me my Centrelink benefit of the disability support pension. And basically, I'm not going to mention it because it is something I'm ashamed of at this stage, because I'm aware that it carries with it a stigma. And stigmas are terrible things, but sometimes people, like my father, for example, are ashamed of stuff like that. My dad how shall I put it? Whatever, folks. My dad's just an asshole, and he's got a record. He hates my photocopier art, and throughout the time when I was doing it as a kid, as a teenager, he tried to discourage me. He tried to ban me from it. And my brother did, and my mum also weighed in on it too, even though I know she didn't mean wrong. My dad and my brother are 2 bullies, assholes, and they don't believe in me, so I've got to get on the 6 o'clock news to prove the bitches wrong, to prove my dad and my brother. That's what I say to my dad and my brother. Fuck yous! There you go, fuck yous. 2 words, folks. because they don't approve of my work. They think it's crap. They think it's embarrassing. Foolishness, that's the word. That's what Dad called it from the very get-go. So I've got a lot of reasons why I must go to AIR, folks. And I want to get recognised as an artist, and one day I'd like to have my work hanging in the Museum of Contemporary Art. Even though they probably couldn't give a flying fuck, I want my work to be exhibited and to make money out of what I'm good at, and not have to work in what essentially is a sheltered workshop and scratching together money like I'm scratching my ass. So, you know, I'm trying to make something of my life, put it back in order. Anyway, that's come up looking quite a treat. I think we can now call this demo quits.